Hi, Scott Orlin with CINEMA-Magazin. The movie is called The United States vs. Billie Holiday, and I'm here with one of the stars, Trevante Rhodes. Trevante, obviously, most people know the name Billie Holiday, but her outer circle, the people that kind of were around her, maybe they're not as familiar with. What was your introduction to her life and to the people around her?
So I grew up in Southern America, so jazz and blues and that whole aesthetic is heavily ingrained into who I am. So from very young, I introduced to Billy and that whole world. So it's a good opportunity to tell the story.
Talk a little bit about your character. I mean, is he really based on an actual person, or was there some dramatic license taken?
He's based on a real person. I think like with any story, or at least for me, I try to tell or express rather a particular color, a particular feeling. So for me, the story is about Billie Holiday. So me embodying Jimmy Fletcher is more embodying that feeling of being an African-American man in that particular situation, in that particular time, to help tell that story.
What I was talking to Andrew about as well, which I thought was so powerful about this story, is that here was a woman who, because of her upbringing and her situation, liked aggressiveness around her life. And yet when this tenderness comes through, she was unsure of how to accept it. And I thought that was such a beautiful relationship because your character was coming in from such an essence of purity.
Mm. Yeah, man, I think that's the truth about people in a sense. I think we don't want too much of anything. I think balance is what it is. And I think in that particular situation, she just didn't understand how to receive balance because she'd had such an imbalance in her life for so long, so it was just an unfortunate situation.
And I love your character too, because he was under the influence of his mother a little bit. I mean, so I'm wondering, how much of a mama's boy are you? How much has your mother kind of guided your career, or at least articulated what she likes and dislikes?
I mean, that's part of the reason why I took the role, man. That's everything I do is 100% reflective of my life. So yeah, my mother is just like in the film, my mother is my guiding light. So it was cool to show that correlation.
Would you make a good FBI agent?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. They're all just really good actors.
But what's scary too is especially through Garrett's character, is we realize that at that point, and I think it's still going on, is there's another agenda. That it had nothing to do with right or wrong. It was about intimidating and inhibiting certain people from representing something.
That's America, bro.
Do you think we'll change?
Uh, so the beginning of Black art has said the same thing. Is this movie. Since the beginning of Black art, since slaves told poetry, the songs, it's the same song. And we're telling this movie today. So no.
Well, let me ask you something on a little brighter note, hopefully, and that is about music. I mean, we're going to take Billie Holiday out of the equation. But what artist or what music has really touched your soul?
Today?
Yeah.
Seb Deliza.
Did your parents play music for you growing up? I mean, do you have influences from their generation as well?
Yeah, that's again, Billy and jazz and blues. Like that's really, like I said, I'm from the South, New Orleans. So Satchmo, Louis Armstrong, Satchmo, he's like on every building in New Orleans, and you hear jazz and you hear brass instruments and you smell, food all the time. So this whole movie is like my subconscious.
So you grew up in New Orleans, which is absolutely one of my favorite cities. I think it's the best city in the world for food. How good of an Epicurean are you? I mean, do you know how to make gumbo? Are you an etouffee kind of guy? What?
Crawfish etouffee is my that's my specialty. That's my favorite dish. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But my mom and all of us, we try to dabble in all of it for sure.
You're a good cook?
Yes, yes.
An actor, cook. What other skill sets do you have?
I'll show you in the movies, man. I try to learn and become the best version of myself in the real world so I could put it in the films for you.
And just the last question for you. I mean, obviously we're in a horrific time right now, not only politically, socially, but just this damn pandemic. How are you staying mentally healthy?
Man, I read books and meditate and all that stuff. So it's, and work out. That feels good to me. So.
Okay, I'm so envious of the working out. I'm just eating.
Just get out there and do it.
Trevante, thank you so much. The film is The United States versus Billie Holiday, and this is Scott. Till next time.
Later, brother.
Thank you, man.